started talking and realized that I still had my mic muted. Anyways, it's been a little while. I think it's been like 2 months since I streamed last. And also, if you hear like creaking and things like that, I have a housemate that lives above me, and he just got home, and the floor just creaks really bad. So if you hear any of that, I'm so sorry. Anyways, all right. So I'm playing Nine Souls. I did kind of like sample the game a while ago, but I think I'm just gonna start over from scratch. Also, let me move this stuff. And yes, as the title says, I am kind of just venting a little bit about some stuff that has just really kind of been like weighing on my shoulders. And to me, this is a good spot to kind of get it out because I don't really have people that are watching. And also, some of the stuff that I'm venting about includes other people, and I really don't want any trouble. It's just, I'd rather be kind of like fully transparent about the things that I'm venting about. Yeah, so, well, anyways, before all that kind of stuff, I recently went on a vacation to Korea, which, I didn't know that I was gonna be able to do that anytime soon, but my mom surprised me with a plane ticket, Christmas of last year, bought the ticket in January, and then I took the actual vacation this month, and I've been back for like just a couple of days over a week, and it was awesome. Like I had a great time. It was cool. A little bit disappointed in myself because I wanted to do more stuff, but because I'm like a severe introvert, and also I went there by myself, and I didn't do like a tour or anything like that with like a group of people. It was literally just I rented an Airbnb, I got on a plane, I went to Korea. So the stuff, yeah, see, there it is. I knew I still had it there, but anyways. Challenges, enjoying the fun of combat and exploration, fully enjoy the story. We'll go with standard mode here. Okay, so there is an ASMR artist. Oh, and disclaimer, I'm not going to be using actual names. I'm not going to say who the content creator is that I follow because I don't want any trouble, and I'm a part of a Discord group, and I also don't want to risk getting kicked out of that group if someone from there just happens to see the video or whatever. So names will be changed, and I won't be giving any details that would make it possible for people to figure out who the content creator is. So, anyways, I follow a content creator who makes ASMR videos, and they have a Discord server that I joined. And like generally overall, it's a good experience. I like being there. There's a lot of really awesome people that are just really kind and wonderful and funny, and I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm like friends with anyone. Not that that would be a problem. It's just I'm not particularly close to anybody, except for this one person, or at least we were, but that's like part of what I'm venting about. Um, so I met a person in the server who we just clicked. We just clicked. They're the kind of person that just kind of sorry, let me I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like tell the story and also play at the same time, but I'm gonna do my best. I knew you were here. I could smell your cooking from way out there. Actually, I'm not gonna read this stuff out loud. You guys can just like read it. Okay, so I met a person on the server and we got close really quickly. They just had the sort of personality that I clicked with, and they didn't find my humor and silliness to be annoying. And then we just kind of started talking and getting to know each other, and then eventually we were like DMing each other all the time. I would like to mention that this was not romantic in any way. This was really just two people becoming pals. And then DMs turned into voice calls. And during this time, they became a member of we'll call it the moderator group. That's what we'll call it. We'll call it the moderator group. And they have set things that they do for the server, which is, well, I'm not going to talk about like what they do because that's too obvious, I would say. And at first, this person didn't really divulge any details, like give away anything that they talked about in like their meetings in regards to whatever goes on with the server, because I'm not a part of the moderator group. It's not information I need to know. But as time went on, because me and this person were friends, they would sometimes tell me details about some of the things that they talked about in their meetings, and I'll get to why that's important in a minute. But anyways, it was just, the way two friends are. If I was having a bad day, I would vent about those things to this person, and if they were having a bad day, they would vent to me about their stuff. Or if I had a good day or good things happened, and vice versa. I mean, sorry for the over explanation. I mean, it's the way that I just hope it'll be seasoned normally. I don't need to prepare my portion. Let's see, what would I say? I would say this. Yeah, so that sort of stuff. The way two people become friends, the way two friends would talk. And we also had a lot of things in common, and we were kind of similar, but also different in a lot of ways. But, those were the kind of things that made our friendship work. So anyway, not to get overly detailed, I even wrote myself little bullets so I don't get off topic here, because I can do that sometimes, go on like a tangent. So we'll call this friend, for the sake of being anonymous, we'll call this person CB. So CB is my friend, or was my friend. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to tell this story and talk at the same time, but I will do my best because sometimes it's difficult for me to pay attention to a game. Oops. Yeah, no, that was right. Pay attention to a game. Oh. Okay. Dead person's note. I found the exit, but there's no way to go back now. This messy note seems like the last words of the deceased before they passed away. Fantastic. So we'll call this friend CB. So, fast forward to the incident. Once from the day the noble swordsman passed by a stone, suddenly someone jumped out from the stone and turned out to be a great hero. The handwriting is quite neat for something written by a child. In the bottom left corner, there's a note that says, there's a note stating that this is the 63rd episode. Okay, so yeah, my phone just went off. Okay, so we'll just fast forward to the incident. And what had happened is that in this particular Discord server there was an AI bot that was introduced that was spicy in nature, but in general, I think almost all of the members, except for maybe a handful, are all people that are 18 plus. So there is an adult section in the Discord server where, of course, adult things can go. Adult jokes, memes, and this particular AI bot. And it wasn't anything that was overly, like, sexual or anything like that, but it was kind of sexual in nature. And at first, it was fine. It was just kind of your general stuff, and there were certain individuals, members, that were really enjoying it, which was all well and fine. But the more that these particular individuals interacted with the AI bot, the more explicit the bot became, to the point that in certain instances the bot was outputting statements that were sexually violent in nature. And at that point, because of some past trauma that I have, and I'm not the only person in the server who has trauma of that nature. I'm not going to give like details or whatever because that, there's no reason to do that. So I spoke to who we will call the boss. We'll just call this person the boss. And just kind of spoke to that person privately, and I was like, I have like some trauma, and some of what the bot is saying is very triggering. I'm not asking for the bot to be removed because, other people are enjoying it, they like it, whatever. But I'm just respectfully suggesting that maybe it be put in a different channel of its own, something like that. And the boss said that I completely understand, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I will talk with the rest of the moderator team to kind of make a decision about it. And so this is where it's important, where CB was telling me details of meetings that the moderators were having. So I typically didn't ask this person for information related to the meetings because, again, it's not my business. And also there was the worry that if somebody were to find out that they were telling me, that CB was telling me things about these meetings, that CB could be maybe kicked out of the moderator group. And I would have felt really terrible if that had happened, because I didn't want that to happen. But because it was something that I had asked the boss about, I asked CB, like, what had happened, what they were thinking, were they upset? Because the whole reason I spoke to boss privately is because I didn't want the two individuals that were really enjoying the bot to be upset, because again, I wasn't asking that it be completely removed. Not that I even have any power to make that happen, but I just didn't want them to feel like
What?
I just didn't want them to be upset at me. That was something I really worried about, like, probably unnecessarily, but I did worry about it. So I had spoken to boss privately, so those two individuals wouldn't be upset with me. And CB told me that one of the individuals was kind of like, it's too bad that it might go away because I liked it, but whatever, I've had my fun, it's fine. And now this isn't necessarily what actually happened, just what CB told me. And CB told me that the other individual, we'll call them NB, NB got upset and said that I was being too sensitive or overly sensitive, and that nobody gave the bot a fair chance. And it really bothered me, because how I'm putting this in my head is that I said I have trauma and I'm being triggered by the things that the bot is putting out. And another individual who could be traumatized in the same way that I have been would say that. So I didn't really say anything about it at first, except to CB that I was upset that really hurts. It hurts when you've been through something really traumatizing and another person is kind of like putting you down for that. Especially when it's, a more serious topic, such as that. So I was really hurt by that. And then it really kind of just festered in my mind, this thing that a person had allegedly said. Jesus. That this person had allegedly said. And of course, because CB was my friend, I believed them. I believed what they said. And because my memory, these are very veiny worms. I'm just saying they're a little bit out, but anyways, I find them dangerous. Okay, anyways, so sometimes, I forget details. I mean, I remember more about how the situation made me feel rather than a lot of the details, but I more or less, I got really down about it. I guess we can't get through that right now. Okay, alright. Oh, jeez. Oh, is that the... kind of expected it to, like, hurt me, but it was kind of just running away. Okay, well, anyways. We have the flower. Do I keep exploring or do I just head back? Oh, this brings you back. Okay, great. Okay, so the thought of this person, Envy, saying what they allegedly said, just really, it really just kind of grew in my mind, and I got more and more upset, and eventually I got angry about it. And I told CB that I was going to leave the Discord server because I just couldn't be in a group where people kind of put down survivors of trauma of a sexual nature. Like, I don't know what's okay or appropriate to say in a YouTube video, but hopefully this doesn't get taken down. And CB was like, no, don't do that, don't leave, you know, and I'm like, well, this person needs to know, like, what a shitty thing that they did. That person might not think it's a big deal, but it was a big deal to me. And not just me, the moderator group and boss had put a, like a poll out to kind of get a feel for how people felt about the bot. And it ended up being almost 50-50, but the bot eventually won out, but they did decide to put it in a channel of its own, which is really all I really wanted out of the situation. So to me, it worked out well. The people who were enjoying it could continue to enjoy it, and myself and other individuals that were not comfortable with the bot didn't have to be subjected to it, because you simply just don't go in that channel. So so it all worked out in that regard, but I was still upset about what NB had said in regards to being too sensitive. So not only that, so this is where I screwed up, or at least where I feel that I screwed up, is before I left, because I did actually leave the server. I did actually leave the server, but I had posted this thing about, I don't specifically remember word for word what it said, but the gist of it is that anyone who puts down a survivor of that type of trauma is a jerk. And I posted it in one channel where it was appropriate to post something like that, but I also posted it in 2 other channels where it wasn't as appropriate, because I wanted the individual, I wanted NB to see it, and I don't know what channels that person frequents, so I put it in 3 different areas where I was hoping that this person would see it, because I was upset and I wanted them to know why, because I couldn't directly say it to NB, because then CB could get in trouble for sharing moderator meeting details. And I didn't want that to happen, but I also wanted to be able to speak my mind about how I felt about it, without getting CB in trouble. And then I left. And after I left, CB, of course, we, would DM each other. CB told me, they're really concerned about you. They don't know why you left. And I'm like, well, you know why I left. And I really wish that person would know. So what ended up happening is I more or less hounded CB about telling this person why I had left, because apparently that person, NB, and the rest of the moderator group were confused. And what they felt, or what they thought had occurred, is that another member had attacked me about trauma of that nature, and they kind of were like, well, I don't know about all of them, but I know like Boss was going through channels that I frequented trying to figure out what had caused me to leave. They were trying to figure out, okay, what piece of shit has done something to another member and we need to get rid of. And then at one point, CV said, okay, you know what, I told that person what happened, I came clean, I told them, and now they know why you left, and I think you should come back. They're genuinely worried about you, the moderator group. And I told CB that I would take a couple of days to just stay out of the server to kind of cool off from the situation, because I felt a little bit better knowing that CB had told that person. And CB also told me that they were on a sort of punishment probation because of sharing moderator meeting details. So I'm thinking, okay, so now NB knows why I'm pissed off at them. CB is not kicked off the moderator team. And I'm going to take a couple of days to cool down, and then I'm going to come back and, you know, talk to Boss about the situation, like everything that had happened, basically. So I stayed out of the server for a little while, for about, I think it was like 2 or 3 days. And I came back and I deleted my goodbye message that I had left also for the content creator and other people in the server that I cared about and had gotten to know. And then all of a sudden I lost all access to all of the channels, and I was added to a ticket, not like a Discord ticket, but like you know, there's different bots you can add to a Discord server, and one of the bots in the one that I'm in, one of the bots is like a ticket bot, so the moderator team can fix issues or take suggestions or whatever, you know. And I was added to a ticket, but nobody said anything for like a half an hour. So I was freaking out, wondering, oh my god, they're kicking me out of the server, like permanently, something. And one detail that I kind of didn't mention to Boss later when I spoke to Boss, is that during this time when I suddenly lost access to all the channels and I was added to a ticket, kind of sitting there like, oh my god, what's happening? I was messaging CB like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I lost access. Do you know what's happening? And I sent a couple of messages to CB like, oh my gosh, I'm about to cry because I don't know what's going on. I'm expecting the worst. And not at any point did CB answer me. And that's a detail that I never had mentioned to anyone else. So not only was I added to this ticket, I lost access to all the channels, but my friend, who allegedly came clean about the whole situation, is not answering me. And they still never answered those messages. And so, not to like mention everything because it's a long story, but the gist of the ticket when Boss did finally say something is that they felt it was in the best interest of the other members and also in my own best interest that I only have access to certain channels, and those channels where I could still talk to the content creator. Part of the benefits, so this content creator also, like many ASMR creators, this particular creator has a Patreon as well, which I'm a member of. And the tier that I'm a part of on this creator's Patreon allows me to be able to speak to that content creator, like have like a private call, that sort of thing. I won't get into details about that because it's not important to the story. So I would have access to those channels and those channels only, and the rest of the community would be closed off to me. And I was, kind of knocked sideways by that because I thought that CB had explained to the rest of the moderator group why I was upset and all that kind of stuff, and I felt justified in being upset because of what NB allegedly said. So anyway, so I'm like talking to boss, trying to not be argumentative because, I could understand to a point, but at the same time I was like the reasoning that boss gave me is that I think it's just better, like, we can revisit this in the future. Like, for now, I think it's better for everyone that you don't have access, except for particular channels. And it's for the well-being of everyone. I can't guarantee, like, what if you just randomly get triggered in the future and upset other members? Because what it was is the message that I put out for hoping that NB would see it ended up triggering other members in the server because I posted it in areas that were open to everybody. Like, there's a set area, like if you need to vent or talk about heavy stuff or something like that, there's like a channel intended for that. And I had left that message in that channel, but also 2 other channels where it wasn't appropriate because I wanted NB to see it. And there were members that, they have a right to not see that stuff. Like, there's a channel for that, and if they choose not to be in that heavy stuff venting channel, they have a right to not see that kind of stuff if they don't want to. And I more or less forced it on members that didn't want to see things like that, and they were triggered by it, for which I felt absolutely horrible about because that wasn't the intended purpose, and I did it while I was angry. The message itself wasn't explicit, but it would make people think about maybe their own traumas and issues that they might have had in the past or are currently experiencing. And what I said to boss is that, wait a second, I was also triggered by what I was told by CB that NB said about me in regards to me having an issue with the spicy bot. And boss wrote back, like, I understand this seems like a difficult situation, but I really think it's best, and in the future we can maybe revisit this and possibly discuss you having access to the rest of the community again. But for now, this is what's best, and I don't know how a moderator triggered you. And I was like, I thought CB told you all of this. And so I explained the whole situation about what happened, how I had the information, and how, what NB had said triggered me because it was insensitive and cruel. I don't think I said cruel. I think I said unkind. Insensitive and unkind. Something like that. I'm not reading word for word the message because it was, first of all, in a ticket, and that ticket has been closed and is gone. And I didn't like copy paste any of it for any particular reason. I didn't really feel like that was necessary. And what boss ended up saying is that they had no idea that any of that had happened, and they were frustrated that nobody gave them those details. So, and of course during this whole thing, CB has not said a word to me, has not answered any of my messages that I left for them, and in the back of my mind I'm like, what's up with that? So, you know, so in the back of my mind, that's looking kind of strange and fishy. Like, why is CB not answering me? What is going on? And now I'm in this situation where I'm about to be more or less permanently banned, or banned indefinitely from the community, except for like 2 channels. Why is CB not speaking to me? So anyways, boss says, okay, I'm gonna talk to CB and I'm gonna talk to NB, and get their take on the situation, and then I'll get back to you and let you know what's gonna happen. And I was like, okay. So while boss is talking to those individuals to get their side of things, when boss got back to me, they explained, okay, I see, I understand what happened, and I just want you to know that NB never said that. This is an important detail too. So CB, after I left the server and all of this, that's when CB tells me that that's not exactly what NB said. NB didn't say that I was overly sensitive. What NB had said is that they were a little bit disappointed that the bot wasn't given a fair chance, because I guess what boss said when they talked to the rest of the moderator group about my concern, sorry, I got a little off track here. When boss talked to the rest of the moderator group about my situation, or my concern rather, boss never told the rest of the moderator group like the reason for it. Just that a member brought up an issue. I wanted to get the rest of your input about what maybe we could do about the bot. And I guess what NB actually said is that that it was too bad that the bot didn't seem to be getting a fair chance, because it had only been like in the server for like a week or a week and a half or something like this. So, and I didn't know any of that. Obviously, not that I necessarily would. It's like you bring up a concern to the moderator group, but you're not necessarily a part of the meeting that maybe occurs in regard to that situation. So I only know what I knew because CB told me those things. Oh, you can't jump here. I don't even know why I need to jump. Anyways.
慢行慢行.
I'm sorry, I know this video is kind of boring because without a whole lot of context, it's kind of hard to be like, to kind of figure out how you might feel about the situation, especially when I'm trying to play a game here. But anyways, So what I knew about the situation is only what CB had told me. And I trusted CB. I had no reason to believe that they weren't telling me the whole truth or parts of the truth or none of the truth. Like, I had no reason to think that any of it was BS. So I took CB's word for everything. So, okay, so what NB actually had said is that they were just a little bit disappointed because the bot hadn't been there for very long and already there was kind of a problem, and maybe if people gave it more of a chance, it would be fine. So not at any point did NB actually say that I personally was overly sensitive in regards to the trauma that I brought up to Boss. Boss never actually even mentioned that to protect my privacy. And I didn't know that. I knew what CB told me, and that was it. So, anyways, back to the meeting and the ticket where Boss is talking to me. So, Boss got all of the details. Okay, and this is where I'm going to take a moment to kind of take a break from the game because I'm barely paying attention to it. Okay, there's another member in this group. We'll call them AG for privacy reasons, but based on things that CB had told me about AG, basically AG was kind of painted in this light where they are a total pain in the ass to the server in regards to like CB kind of made AG out to be a very self-centered individual who was kind of only a member in the group for their own benefit. And so there was a period of time where the content creator did not put content on Patreon that they normally would have. And the reason for that is because this particular content creator works very, very hard to bring us new content, and there were some changes that were happening with Patreon, like the platform Patreon, not necessarily to do with the content creator or any other content creator on the platform. But there were some changes that were coming, and there was a lot of things that the content creator was working on, and so we didn't get content for a particular month, but we had gotten a lot of extra content the previous month to make up for what the content creator was not going to be able to put out for the month that we didn't get anything. And AG allegedly made a stink about it and was kind of like, well, I pay every month for this content and didn't get it, and kind of like didn't consider that they weren't the only person who didn't get that content. None of the Patreon members got that content, but we got a whole lot of extra content the month before to make up for it. So it was kind of like we got new content like ahead of time because we weren't going to get it that particular month. And from what I understand is that nobody else complained about this. Only AG complained about this. And CB was really annoyed by that because CB felt like AG was being very self-centered and rude and kind of like taking money away from the content creator, because I guess allegedly AG got like a partial refund, but like nobody else did. And that was the other thing. It's just I'm not particularly salty about that because I can understand where AG was coming from. But at the same time though, like from the get-go, when you become a member of this content creator's Patreon, it's on this creator's Patreon that no refunds will be given for any reason. And I think it's fair for a content creator to say that, because it's, one, not easy to be a content creator. There's no guarantee that you'll have the same income every month, you know, because members can come and go, or maybe, you know, they were able to pay X amount of dollars one month, but not able to keep the same membership the next month, and maybe they have to drop down a tier, so you lose money, gain money, lose money, gain money, and that's kind of the risk you take as a content creator. There is no guarantee that you're going to have the same income all the time, because members come and go. Sorry, there's a lot of talking happening right now. I'm kind of losing my voice, so I'm going to get some water. Real quick. Come here. Okay, got it. I'm going to drink some water here so I can continue talking about the issue. And I promise there's a reason why this is important. So, and just, you know, disclaimer, I was not a part of any of these moderator meetings, obviously. Or not obviously, but I was not a part of any of these meetings because I'm not a moderator in this Discord server. Everything I know was because CB is a moderator. So this is what I'm being told about AG, is that they made kind of a stink about it. They demanded a refund, and they were granted like a partial refund. And Boss was really, really upset about it, because this is not the only time that AG has made kind of a situation out of things, and there have been other things that this person has kind of been upset about and just kind of made a problem for Boss. So fast forward to this situation, Boss is like, you know, if it were up to me, I would just kick AG out. AG would not be a member here. But at the end of the day, it's not up to me, it's up to the content creator, who we will call LB. LB, the content creator, of course will have the final say about members being kicked out and things like that. And if LB, basically Boss said that if LB is willing to kind of put up with it, then, you know, that's their decision, and that's that. And so AG is still a member, and CB often vented about AG and their shenanigans. And because I was friends with CB, I kind of joined in on that, and I took CB for their word. And so I would hear these things about AG and be like, you know, wow, what an asshole. And, you know, how dare they take money away from LB when they're working so hard to give us the content that we want, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, we both agreed that AG was an asshole, for various reasons. So, okay, so back to the ticket where I'm having a meeting trying to not lose access to the community that I cared about, that I do still care about. So I I took screenshots of DM conversations that CB and I had had to prove that, look, this is what CB told me. And this is why I was under a misunderstanding about what NB had said, allegedly said. And then I was like, and it wasn't until like after I left that CB was like, oh, that's not really what they said, and then like told me what NB had actually said, which had nothing to do with me being overly sensitive or anything like that. So I took screenshots of parts of the DMs that CB and I had with each other to prove to Boss that I was actually reacting based on a misunderstanding, if you can call it that. The more I think about it now that the whole thing is over, the more that I feel like CB lied to me. And while I'm getting upset and I said some not very nice things about NB in our private DMs, you know, without getting too explicit, I, you know, more or less said that NB can suck it, and here's a middle finger for them. Because I'm thinking that NB is like this totally insensitive, awful person, who ended up actually not being an awful, insensitive person. But the damage was done by then. I had said what I had said. I knew what I thought I knew. And it wasn't until after I like left the server that, you know, CB was like, oh, that's not actually what was said. Oh, I actually came clean and told NB, you know, why you were upset, which she which CB apparently didn't actually tell this person, or at the very least nobody has denied or confirmed that CB had actually told NB about why I was upset at them. So, alright, so we're in the ticket, I'm talking to Boss gets the information from NB, gets CB's side of the story, and so what the final decision ended up being is that, why did I bring up AG? Okay, so part of those screenshots that I had sent to Boss to explain why I was under a misunderstanding and why I reacted the way that I did, a sentence about AG was in that DM, and I blurred out the name because, again, I'm trying to keep CB from getting into more trouble, because in my attempt to kind of stop Boss from indefinitely banning me from the Discord group, I had to tell Boss about what was said to me. So it looks as though I'm throwing CB under the bus, but really I wasn't, because I thought that Boss already knew about everything, because CB told me that they told NB about why I was upset, and so by default I thought that Boss knew about it as well, because I assumed that the other moderators tell Boss about this, because Boss is literally like the manager of the whole thing. Like, there's the content creator, there's LB, who's the content creator, and LB of course is like the head honcho of the server because it's their server, and then Boss runs everything. So I was under the assumption that when things are going on and the moderators become involved, that Boss is automatically in the know about everything that goes on. So I didn't realize that I was more or less throwing CB under the bus, because I thought this was information that Boss already knew. So the final decision, AG. I blurred out AG's name in the screenshots because I didn't want CB to get into even more trouble. But then Boss asked, like, okay, what is this about? And so I was like, I'd really rather not say who it is, but that was a conversation that me and CB had about another member of the Discord that was apparently causing problems. And I'd really rather not say who it is that we were talking about, because again, I'm still thinking CB is my friend at this point. So I'm trying to keep them out of trouble as or as little trouble as possible, because that wasn't the problem. I wasn't trying to be like, oh, well, CB did this, and CB did that, and CB said this, and CB said that. It's just that I didn't want to lose, I didn't want to not be a part of the community, because I felt like that wasn't fair. But Boss had no idea of any of the reasons. So, okay. So that was the whole thing with AG. So the final decision that Boss made is that I would be on like a 10-day suspension to kind of let everything simmer down. And at the same time, like, I was wrong by posting a heavy topic in places that it should not have been posted in. And so that's basically what I was being punished for. And so for 10 days I had no access to the server, and then I regained access after that. So I'm still a member of the Discord, and things are fine now, mostly. This is where things get shitty. CB, who had not said anything to me during this entire process, finally did send a message after everything was done with, and basically told me that they are so hurt because I accused them of saying things that they never ever said. And that going forward, they did not want to be my friend anymore. And that since we're in the same server, like, of course, if we cross paths, whatever, they'll be cordial, polite, whatever, because that, you know, we're mature adults. But that their DMs would be closed, they don't want to be friends with me. And I was kind of like, what? And so I decided to just respond, because CB gave me the room to respond before they, like, blocked me or whatever. I'm guessing they blocked me. I don't actually know, because since that day I have not said anything to them or tried to reach out to them, out of respect for their decision. So I was just like, you know, I almost got permanently banned, and you didn't defend me or back me up. And that strikes me as a little weird. I was kind of like, I'm basically on the same page as you about not being friends, because, you know, you didn't... like, I was almost permanently banned, and you were just gonna let that happen? And I was confused about that. Like, why? And to this day, I still don't understand why CB did what they did. I'm confused. And also, I don't know what things that they're talking about that I accused them of saying that they never said. Because, as I said earlier, when I was telling Boss about, you know, how I was triggered and what happened and everything, and how CB was involved and how AG was involved and what NB allegedly said, like, I told Boss the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And of course I gave Boss screenshots of DMs that me and CB had in regards to that misunderstanding. So in my mind, I never told Boss lies about CB, ever. I still haven't said any lies about CB. So even now, I'm confused about what CB thinks that I did. So the only thing that I can really chalk it up to is that maybe CB wasn't really my friend. And I have a lot of theories on that. None of this is fact. I'm sorry, all of this is fact, except for, like, my theories. My theories are just theories. There's no, you know, there's no one to confirm or deny that my theories are true or correct or whatever. But this content creator, LB, does have a lot of followers that more or less simp over them. I know simp is not, like, it's kind of like a derogatory term now, but I don't know how else to put it. But, like, a lot of members, you know, are, like, super into LB, which I understand, don't get me wrong. I like this content creator too, but I'm also not delulu about the line between content creator and fan. There's nothing else to our relationship with this content creator except for that. We are fans. Some of us pay for memberships. Some of us are just members in the Discord, and we listen to this content creator's free content on YouTube, or you're buying the paid content on Patreon or whatever. But okay, so why is that important? Because sometimes CB would say things that gave me the impression that they were maybe jealous of other members, not necessarily me, but feeling like, oh, LB would never choose me as, like, a partner. And sometimes, like, comments like that would kind of throw me off, because, I mean, I don't know. This content creator could have crushes, you know, crushes on members. I mean, just, like, personality crushes or whatever. But, like, none of us would know anything about that except for maybe the person that LB decides to talk to, if they decide to talk to a member in that way. So anyway, sometimes CB would say like little comments like that, like, oh, I would never be good enough. LB would never choose me. And it would be kind of like, well, I'm pretty sure LB wouldn't choose any of us because we're fans. And like many content creators, this content creator makes a point of making sure that members understand that if you ever visit the place where he lives or where LB lives, whatever, like, they don't meet fans. That's a big thing with LB, which, you know, to me that's completely understandable, because there are members, I'm sure, I can't think of anyone specifically that I know of, but there are, I'm sure, members that are very delulu about it, and maybe thinking that they're somehow more special than other members because of the way LB treats us, which is very nicely, and they're a flirtatious person, and I don't know, it's a nice vibe. This content creator is a vibe that I like, that many members like. So, but anyways, I understand all that, but sometimes CB would just kind of make comments like that, and I never really thought much of it, because I just took it as general being hard on yourself. It wasn't necessarily about LB, but maybe CB felt that way about anybody. Like, they're not worthy, they're not good enough for this person or that person, whatever. Because I have insecurities like that too, but I'm also not, like, I don't think about content creators like that. You know, I have feelings like that about real people, like people I know, like in real life, or people I meet in real life. I'm not saying that CB is delulu, I just think that CB was hard on themselves, on their self. Yeah, there we go, English. Hard on their self. But after everything that happened, and the kind of accusing me of, you know, making up lies to boss that I didn't, things like that, it started to make me wonder if, on maybe a small scale, this CB was thinking, one less person that will have LB's attention. That did cross my mind. And that maybe CB noticed or saw that I was kind of an emotional person. Not like overly emotional, but can get emotional. But again, I considered CB to be like kind of like my insta best friend. And so I felt like I could share those vulnerable thoughts about things with them. and when I'm being truthful and, you know, explaining my feelings about things, I can be a little bit emotional. I'm a deeply emotional person. I'm just that way. And I sometimes wonder if CB kind of took that into consideration and almost like egged on the situation by telling me that NB said you're overly sensitive about this trauma, which NB never actually said. And it wasn't until the damage was done where CB was like, oh, that's not what NB said. So it made me think, wait, was this like a setup? Was I like set up? And I know that's like kind of a big thought, because you know, you never want to think that somebody would like plan that and do that to someone else, and I could absolutely be wrong. But because of how CB like ended the friendship with me, it just makes me feel like maybe CB wasn't ever actually my friend at any point. And even though CB said that they would still like be polite to me in server, that sort of thing, because we're in the same server, we talk to the same people, but I have to be honest, ever since the last message that they ever sent to me about, I don't want to be your friend, you told boss that I said things that I never said, which is not true. I never told boss things that CB never said. I took screenshots of things that were said, so like boss knows that what I told them that CB said is true and accurate. At least the messages that I have. 90% of my conversations with CB happened over voice calls, which of course I don't record. I don't think CB recorded them either. But there's no proof that I said this or CB said that or whatever, because most of it, like I said, just, it was said in voice calls. So what little bit I did show to boss is what I had, and you can clearly see that CB said what I told boss that they said. And so like I said, to this day, I'm confused about what CB thinks I lied about. And of course, CB has not confirmed or denied, because they don't speak to me anymore. As a matter of fact, CB acts as though CB treats me as if I don't even exist. Like I'm not even a human being. So that tells me everything I need to know about what CB felt about me. And that's why I can't help but feel that the entire friendship was all a complete lie. And because this person doesn't speak to me anymore, I can't even be like, was this even real? Like, were you even my friend? Like, can you clarify what you think it is I lied about? Can I have an opportunity to explain myself if there is a need for me to do so? But of course, I'm never gonna have that opportunity, because they don't even acknowledge my existence. And another part of me just feels like, well, maybe CB just is guilty, because, and I actually posted something about this in the proper channel, that if someone has a guilty conscience, they will remove you from their life because they don't want to have to face it. So I'm an extremely forgiving person, and even though I'm like hearing myself talk about this and kind of like thinking, maybe I dodged a bullet, or didn't dodge a bullet but didn't die, that sort of thing. But like a part of me still misses CB. I still love CB. I mean, not romantically, of course, but, you know, platonic love. They were, you know, from my perspective, my best friend, even if CB never thought that about me and never actually cared at all. I mean, it was just so easy for CB to be like, fuck you, and then to treat me like I'm not any better than dog shit on the bottom of their shoe. And that's what it feels like. And I have wanted so badly to tell LB about all of this, not to persuade them to like dislike CB, that's not up to me, but I don't know what CB has told them. Jesus, fuck. Well, it's kind of too late now. I already gendered certain people. But anyways, LB. But, like, I'm still operating like I don't want to make anything bad for CB. I don't want necessarily people to dislike CB, because even though my friendship with CB didn't work out, doesn't mean that they're not a genuine friend to other members. And I'm not trying to persuade anyone, least of all LB, that CB is like a bad person, because that might not be true. But again, I'm never gonna get clarification from CB. And honestly, because I'm such a forgiving person, if CB like messaged me out of the blue like, hey, I'm just wondering how you are, you know, I would respond to them. And I really would just kind of like talk about it and be like, you know, listen, like, I was really hurt by the situation. I am confused. I don't know what you think it is that I did wrong to you. And, you know, if you would like to clarify, I would appreciate it. Like, these are legitimate things that I would say to CB if I existed for them. But that's probably never gonna happen, and I haven't said a word to LB about it, but based on a conversation that me and LB had like a couple of weeks before I went to Korea, it was apparent that CB had told LB about what happened, but I don't even actually know if what she told LB was even the truth. For all I know, CB made me out to be like this crazy bitch that caused a lot of problems, which isn't true. But LB was, you know, supportive, because I did at least tell LB about kind of the emotional side of it and how it seemed to me. Like, I really wasn't, there's not a whole lot of time that I get to speak to LB. So I kind of had to pick and choose the most important details, and what I felt was most important is that it seemed like CB said that they said one thing, but then I'm finding out that they didn't. And so it's looking like CB is like this big liar who was trying to get me kicked out of the Discord. That's what it looks like. But what I really told LB is just that I missed CB, and that I was hurt, and that I didn't understand, and I was confused. And I got emotional when I was talking to LB, and I cried a little, which was super embarrassing. I am not a person who cries in front of other people. Like, I might tell a person, oh yeah, like, I cried about this the other day, but you'll never see me cry in front of another person, unless it's like my little brother. He's the only person I would trust to not put me down while I'm being emotional. And so it was really hard to talk about, but I had a feeling that CB probably said a lot of things to LB about the situation, and I at least wanted an opportunity to be like, this is what it seems like to me, but despite all of that, I'm really hurt. I miss CB. CB was my best friend for as long as it was. And LB was kind of like, I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm not on your side or not on your side. I just, I need to say that, but it's the same for the other person involved. It's the same for CB. Like, I'm not on their side or not on their side. I'm just, LB was like, I'm glad that you felt like you could talk to me about this. And LB was kind of like, I'm sorry you went through this. I'm sorry you're feeling like this. And he really, felt for the fact that I was trying not to cry but couldn't help it. And trying to suck it up real fast because it's embarrassing. I know that a lot of other members, other members that have access to having conversations, phone calls with him or whatever, tend to use him as a person, not use him, but see him as, sorry, I really need to stop gendering. See LB as a person that they can vent to or be emotional in front of or be sad or angry about things. And because of that, I tried to never really get super emotional when I talk to LB, because I think it's just as important for LB to be able to have light, happy conversations. Not that LB doesn't with other members, but I try not to be one of the members that just is sad and tells LB all their sad things, all their angry things, and just always has these heavy conversations. Now, I don't know, of course, I'm not involved in anyone else's conversations, but I just try not to be a person. I try to be, I think shallow is the right word. I try not to really get too deep with LB. Because again, I'm trying to not cross that line where I'm thinking, LB sees me as a fan. I'm just a fan that has a membership, and one of the benefits is a call. I know LB doesn't care about me. If I were to not be a member tomorrow, it wouldn't faze LB. It wouldn't matter one way or the other. LB would be losing income, and that might be a concern. And I understand this. I'm never gonna be, LB is never gonna see me like a friend. I'm just another fan. But for me, I try not to cross that line, because I know that's how it really is. So I try not to be too particularly deep about anything when I talk to LB, because I know that we're not really forming a close relationship. Does that make sense? Anyways, and not only that, but ever since, this was the other thing. So in the ticket, when I was talking to Boss, and Boss got CB's side of things, CB turned around and gave screenshots to Boss saying, "Oh, look what Saya said about NB." And so in the beginning of this video, I did mention that I said some not nice things about NB, while I was still under the misunderstanding that NB had said, that shitty thing about me and the trauma. And so I basically, without getting explicit, because this is YouTube, I basically said, NB can suck it, and here's a middle finger, because fuck them for saying that. I can't be a part of a Discord server where people shit on sexual trauma survivors. And CB gave Boss screenshots of the things that I said, which I was talked to about, which I feel torn about, because it's that was a private opinion I had about NB based on what I thought NB had said. So to be to be punished for that feels unfair, because and maybe that's just like an American mindset, because this is, you know, an international Discord group. There are members from all over the place, and maybe that's just my American mindset, that I have a right to feel what I feel about people, and I should not be punished for that. Especially since I never said it to NB directly, and I never publicly said it to anyone else. I literally said that to CB in a private message. So again, that kind of makes CB look like kind of a jerk by saying, because I told boss, like, there was a misunderstanding, here is why I was under the misunderstanding, this is what was said to me, and I showed boss screenshots, and it just kind of felt like CB was retaliating by saying, oh yeah, well, look what Saya said about NB. Look at these shitty things that Saya said. So it felt like retaliation. And I wasn't trying to get CB in trouble to begin with. It's not like I attacked CB. That wasn't the point. Yes, it's over now. But anyways, okay. So, boss told NB, or showed NB the pictures of the screenshots of the shitty things I said about them when I was still under the misunderstanding about what NB had said. So basically, boss was like, you know, you said disrespectful things about NB, so my final decision is that you are suspended from the group for 10 days for posting heavy stuff in places it didn't belong and triggering other members, and for the disrespectful things you said about NB. Again, I can understand being in trouble for triggering other members because they didn't deserve that. For them, it probably felt like an unsolicited attack, which it was, and I'm, you know, apologetic and all that about that, because I wasn't trying to hurt anyone else, especially when they didn't deserve to be hurt. I don't agree with being punished for how I felt about NB at the time, and of course, as of like this moment, I don't feel that way about NB, because I know what was actually said, which wasn't anything against me. And I was told by boss, like, NB, you know, has no hard feelings about this. They don't need an apology from you. Nothing like that. But there have been obvious changes when I came back. There's a lot of members that don't have context for why I posted what I posted. All they know is that some asshole posted some triggering shit and disappeared and then came back randomly. So, like, a lot of people didn't talk to me after that, but I understood because they have no context. And I wasn't about to sit there and give people context, because I just wanted it to kind of be done with. I was punished. I came back. That's just how I wanted it to be. But also, NB, despite seemingly being forgiving about it, has not been... they haven't been blatantly rude to me, but there are just little things that... NB is not a very cozy person. At least not to me. I'm sure there are other individuals... I know for a fact that there are other individuals that really like NB, and they're close with NB. But I find NB to be a little bit rough around the edges. or maybe just a little bit too rough for me, who is a sensitive person. And so I had made a comment in a live stream that LB was doing. LB streams live almost every day, unless they're busy with like personal life, in real life stuff. And during one of the streams, I forgot how it came up exactly, but so LB prefers, this is what I understand, and not necessarily what actually is, but this is what I understand about LB, is that they prefer not to meet fans in real life, which again, I completely understand that, because even though certain fans probably would genuinely be respectful and just would be happy to meet LB and then be on their way, I'm sure there are some members that would be a little bit more delulu, and maybe there are members who could potentially become stalkerish or whatever. So I completely understand his reason for not meeting fans in real life. And oh, this is okay. So LB was talking about, like, if they're just like running to the convenience store real quick, they don't necessarily dress up. They might go in their sweatpants and flip-flops or Crocs or whatever, because they're just going to the convenience store and then going back home. But when LB goes to like the grocery store or other type of shopping, LB said that they tend to, they dress nice. And LB does dress very nice. They're very stylish. And they have like nice watches. And, they're a very stylish person. They're very attractive. LB is a very attractive person. Anyways. And someone said, "Oh, you dress up to go to the grocery store?" And I had commented, Of course LB does. There could be potential members at the grocery store." And what I meant by that comment is that that if LB had positive attention at a grocery store or something, then those people could maybe become members of Patreon or whatever. But because I put potential members, that the word potential, it could be taken two different ways. Potential, like, though people at the grocery store have potential to become members of LB's community, which is how I meant it. But you could also take it like, of course they dress nice because they might run into people who are members, which would be, which would give LB a lot of anxiety, which I understand. We talked about this already. So that's how it was taken. And so when I made the comment, LB had said live, like, "Saya, I don't like that." Like me having said it or whatever. And I was like, "Wait, no, I didn't mean it like that." So I commented in Discord like, "Hey, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, whatever." NB, who of course is a part of the moderator group, was like, that sort of thing would scare the hell out of him. Don't even say it. Like, you can't even say it. And so that just makes me feel like NBA babies LB a little too much, and they're a grown adult. And at the same time, I felt like NB was being a little bit rude to me and not like understanding how I meant it. But NB was kind of like, "Well, whether you meant it in this way or meant it in this way, you can't say it," basically. So things that I say, even if I didn't mean it the way it came out, I'm being censored by NB, basically. And I don't even know if LB is even aware or if he even saw the comment, like, oh, I didn't mean it that way, I meant it this way. So I don't actually know if LB even knows. I just know I was scolded by NB for it. And so I just feel like NB is now being just kind of really harsh and hard on me since the whole incident. And then there was just a group of us talking or whatever, and I had said something on the lines of, and I forgot what the comment was that triggered me to comment, or I shouldn't say triggered, that made me respond. And I said something on the lines of a blow up. If LB got a blow up sex doll as a gag gift, I think that would be funny. And like, not that anybody is actually thinking of doing this, because that would probably be weird anyway. But to me, just the thought of giving anybody a blow up sex doll as like a like as a joke, to me is just funny. Not necessarily LB, just like anybody, it would be funny to me. So it wasn't like specifically like it would only be funny if that happened to LB, just that it was something that would be funny in general. And NB ended up commenting, he would hate that. and I was kind of sitting there like, okay, but if I find it funny, it's fine. It's not like I'm actually doing this or going to do that. Like, how would I, first of all? Like, LB is not a content creator that allows people to send them things. So like, how would that even happen, first of all? And so it was just kind of like, to me, it was an unnecessary comment for NB to say. But like I said, since the incident, it just seems like they're harsh towards me. And I think that's unfair, because I really was under a misunderstanding. I really was in a position to believe that NB was kind of an asshole. And when I realized that they weren't, or they'd never actually said what I was told that they had said, I felt really, really terrible about it. And I would have gladly been like, I am so sorry. Like, I was operating as if you had done, you know, this crappy thing, said this crappy thing about me, and that made you out to be like a jerk. And I would have apologized and been like, I'm so sorry, and I don't really feel that way now that I know the truth. I don't actually feel this way about you, and I'm sorry. Like, that's what I would have said. But they specifically told Boss that they didn't need an apology from me, that they understood what happened, and that was the end of it. So I kind of took that like they weren't angry. But maybe NB is, or was, mad and doesn't feel like they need to give me any kind of respect. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. Because I keep getting scolded about things that I'm saying that I don't particularly think are bad things. Especially the whole blow-up sex doll thing. Because it doesn't have to be LB. Like if someone gave me a blow-up sex doll as a gag gift, I would laugh my ass off. I would find that so funny. I don't know why I find it so funny, but I do. And I think I should be allowed to feel that something like that is funny without being told, like, oh, they would hate it. Okay. So NB frequently speaks for LB, and that bothers me a little bit, because is this how LB actually feels? Is this what LB would actually say? And I don't think it's right for anyone to kind of take the initiative to speak for other people. regardless of how long they've known them. Okay, like my mom obviously has known me my entire life. I don't like it when she speaks for me, regardless of how well she knows me, which is pretty freaking well because she's my mother. But I'm just saying, it would really bother me if I found out that my mom or anyone I'm close to is telling other people what I would think and how I would feel about this or that. So in general, the things that have happened and the things that NB has said just really irks me. And I don't think it's fair, and I just can't help but feel that it's stemming from this. So I just feel like I'm being talked down to by that person, on top of being treated like I'm not even a human being that exists by CB. And I'm really, really, really fucking hurt. And I literally have nobody I can talk to about it, especially not anybody in the Discord group, because that could blow up in my face. And I can't even talk to LB about it because I don't want to give him any stress or anxiety or upset about anything. Because one, we're not close like that, and two, I don't think he deserves it. So I don't want to be the cause of any negativity in LB's group or LB's life in general. I mean, for fuck's sake, I was recently close to where LB lives, and not at any point did I, like, ask or suggest that we meet or anything like that. Like, I'm literally not trying to cause any problems for LB in any way. And I'm just really hurt by how, oops. Oh no, I need my mouse. Okay, sorry about that. Just was, oh Jesus. Going to check something out really quick. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at something real quick. Aha, there it is. Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, so in said Discord group that I'm a part of, somebody mentioned me. I was just kind of checking out what that was all about. Anyways, so as just a last thing, because I have literally been talking about this for like a long time and not paying attention to this game whatsoever. Not that anybody's gonna like watch this video or whatever, but it's just nice to get it off my shoulders. So the last bitch I have about all of this is that on top of wanting to talk to CB again and wanting to patch things up with them and just wanting to be able to say hi or like something that they've posted in the group, like in addition to wanting to do all that, you know, I'm seeing CB like post like, you know, things like, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. If you need someone to care about you, I'm here. And hi, all you wonderful, beautiful people. And knowing that none of that includes me, it just hurts. I feel like I'm just being stabbed over and over. And that's everything. That's everything I wanted to vent about, because nobody is ever going to go out of their way to try to understand me. I'm misunderstood a lot of the time because of not being able to express myself properly or whatever. I'm, you know, misunderstood a lot of the time. And so there's literally just no way I can even explain myself. Nobody gives a shit. and I'm just hurt. It just all hurts. And I haven't said any of that to LB either because I just don't want to be a problem for anybody. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm really going to dig into this game because I just want to relax and play a game. That is all I want. So, with that being said, I will be right back.
Teyu.
Okay, I'm back. And since I spent so much time venting about the things I needed to vent about, I've decided to just start the game over. And I'll probably just put a timestamp or something in there. That way, if people want to just skip the venting and just get right to the gameplay, they'll be able to do that. I didn't expect to spend, over an hour talking about the whole thing. But you know what? I feel a little bit lighter. I'm glad I was able to kind of get all those thoughts about the situation off my mind, because it's really just been weighing on my brain. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna drink some water, and then we're gonna start the game over. Okay, sorry for the water noises. Okay, also I need this up here. Okay, alright, fabulous. Let's get to this game and ouch, that freaking hurt. And let's do this for real. I really wish my headset wasn't acting like a douche. Anyway. Okay, great. Alright, let's do this. Oh, hello. Who's the problem? Oh, my shit. Okay, now I can use the... I just realized how gruesome actually the damage to this character is. I'm wondering if I should have a disclaimer like this could be a trigger for some people. Because that's particularly gruesome. I mean, granted, the character did fall off a cliff, but oof, the blood, the guts. And I think he's a cat. Because at first I was thinking when I saw videos of the game, I thought maybe he was a fox, but he doesn't have the long snout, so I feel like he's a cat. I believe these are cats. I mean, not everyone, but this particular character, the main character that you're playing. Also, I wonder... I think I'm a little bit louder than the actual gameplay. I don't know if that's a problem or not. Because the music's kind of cool, but I just don't want my mic to pick it up in the headset. That's the only problem. Oh, I'm dumb. I could just turn down the computer information. Hang on. Oh, I can't pause it right now. I knew you were here. I could smell your cooking from way out there. Snacking on grilled fish again, are you? Because he's a cat. Aren't you excited for dinner tonight? The auntie next door taught me how to make garlic noodles yesterday. I won't mess it up this time. Oh, I guess that's kind of a mean thing to say, but I wasn't really paying attention too much to it before. You don't need to prepare my portion. Like, if you don't want to eat something, that would be the nice thing to say, like, oh, I'm not hungry right now, or you don't have to do that, etc. Guess I'll have it all to myself then. Did you come running to me just to talk about dinner? Oh, right, the flower. Okay. Can I not pause this? I need to make adjustments. Oh, I guess I needed to do it from the, from the get-go. Oh well, hopefully the volume's okay. Oops, I did not have to do that. Crooked words etched into the ground. I found the exit, but there's no way to go back now. This messy note seems like the last words of the deceased before they passed away. And I have to, this game is really cool. Like, for just a little bit I had played a month ago. The little bit I played a month ago, and then things I've seen. This game is actually really neat. Yeah, anyways. Oh. Okay, cool. We didn't have to do that. Shan Shan's story scroll. One day, the noble swordsman passed by a stone. Suddenly, someone jumped out from the stone. It turned out to be a great hero. The handwriting is quite neat for something written by a child. In the bottom left corner, there is a note stating that this is the 63rd episode. I thought there'd be some in the Forbidden Cave, but I haven't seen a single one. Where are you, Crimson Hibiscus? A crimson hibiscus? Is that the flower you've been fussing about? Yeah, that's the flower they use for the ceremony. According to the shaman, the bigger the flower, there's one right up there. Wow, you're right, but I'm not sure I can even climb up that high. Random boar. Hey, hold on. How did a boar get all the way up there? That's bullshit. Hi. Aw, it snatched the flower away. Oh well, it probably needs it more than I do. It's about to get dark. Let's head back to the village. I'll go look somewhere else next time. I'll get that flower for you.
What?
Huh? It's fine. You really don't have to. Are you really gonna go get it? Okay, I'll wait here for you. Be careful not to get hurt. Huh. You know, from what we saw in the beginning, I don't know if this is like before he gets pushed off the cliff or after. And that might have been made obvious, but I don't remember. Okay. I did that the first time. I gotta run up here, do this, do that. Shoo. Okay. Yay! Those phallic, whatever the fuck they are. They like explode. Shisha. Oh shit. The water hurts. Okay. Well, that's right. We couldn't go that way before. Alright. Right, I thought the boar would, like, try to hurt. These flowers that appear around the Peach Blossom Village are used by villagers as decoration during the ceremony. Legend has it that harvests will be bountiful if the ceremony is successful. While that hasn't been proven, everyone still gets more food after the ceremony. I have theories about that, because I played part of that, but anyways, you'll see. It's gross. Alright. Fabulous. Nope. Nope. Oh. What up, bro? I hope you didn't get hurt. That boar was huge. Don't push yourself too hard. It was only a year ago when you still needed my help to walk, remember? Okay, so this is after falling off the cliff. Here. Wow, you really got it back for me. It's even prettier up close. Given time, even the prettiest flowers wilt. Well, that was emo. Super emo. I wonder if Benny would like this. Right, anyways, that's okay. At least we're here to see it, even if it won't be for long. I don't really see the meaning behind all this. Heh, but you still went out of your way to help me retrieve it. Thanks, Yi. We should head back. We'll be in trouble if they find us here. Got a cool hat. Wow, this festival market is so lively. Look, every household has dried meat, and someone's even brewing wine. We've had bountiful harvests for 2 years in a row since you arrived. You've pretty much become the village's official good luck charm. They're just coincidences. Aw, don't say that. When you helped the elders with the rat infestation, we were all talking about how fortunate we are to have you around. Also, praise be to the souls for blessing the Peach Blossom Village and ensuring that we are all fed and clothed. If there's nothing else I need to do, I'm going back to dry the fish. Stay for a bit. You should take the chance to check out the stalls and mingle with everyone. Leave the fish to me. Catch you later. Please don't start. I don't know if you guys heard that, but my cat, when he starts just meowing for no reason, he gets really loud sometimes. Anyway. I know, right? Remember how glum he used to look when his parents left? A lot of gossip in this village. But that guy he hangs around with, he's a bit of an oddball. Yes, that would be me. This must be the shaman.
慢行，慢行。
In the old days, when our ancestors lived in harsh wilderness, they had to endure the bitter cold and the onslaught of savage predators. Unable to bear watching us humans suffer, the 10 merciful souls descended from the heavens. At first, some were ignorant and raised their swords towards the souls. Those fools were met with divine wrath, and their bones were ground to dust. Sounds religious. Those who were pious and reverent followed the souls to a land outside the 99 heavens, a paradise where everyone could prosper. The all-knowing and all-powerful souls bestowed their wisdom upon us, teaching us about the truth of all things. When the peaches ripen for harvest, the souls will select several of us for a great privilege. Those fortunate enough to be chosen will live the rest of their lives among the divine souls. So be good, children. Listen, follow, and believe, and you may also be chosen one day. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just gotta check something right quick. I didn't need to do that. Anyways. Oh. Anyways. Oh shoot. I didn't realize my stuff had changed. What the heck happened here? Alright, it's all good now. Okay, seriously? Man, my computer's such a pain in the butt sometimes. Anyways, right. Divine souls above, I humbly ask that you heed my request. Yes, what is it? I'm curious. Are they gonna say? No, probably not. Okay. Shenong. Alrighty. What? The hell you looking at? Beat it. I don't want any part in this dumb festival. You don't look much wiser yourself.
Yourself.
What? And just who do you think you are, you pint-sized punk? Bah, curse this damn ceremony. One day I'll show everyone what's really... Sigh. I said sigh. Never mind, you wouldn't get it. All the nonsense is making my wine go sour. Last year my daughter was one of the lucky few to be chosen. What a blessing. I wonder what it's like to live with the gods. Indeed. I bet it's amazing. Pity no one ever comes back to tell us. Or whatever they said. Okay. I guess this is Shan Shan. I don't honestly know how you would pronounce that, so I'm just gonna go with... Or maybe it's... Schwan? Schwan? Okay, we're just gonna call him Shan Shan. You're back. Did you see anything interesting? I cleaned up that crimson hibiscus you got me earlier. I'm gonna sew it onto my clothes later. It's not a rule, but those who are chosen usually wear a flower. It makes you look a lot cooler when standing up there. Is this something to be happy about? Of course. I'll be seeing my mom and dad soon. I wonder if they'll notice that I've grown taller. Let's head inside. I'm hungry. I'll be leaving in a few days. Will you make sure to eat properly when you're on your own? Remember, the rice is stored in the bin, and the fruit on the table should be eaten before it dries out. Stop worrying.
Ayo.
Well, don't forget, okay? I probably won't be able to send letters back to you once I'm living with the souls, you know. It's sad to think I won't have anyone to bicker with anymore. Aren't you scared? I'm going somewhere I've never been before. Of course I'm a bit scared. If you're scared, then don't go.
Oh?
I have to. Being chosen by the souls is a blessing. Besides, I've always had this feeling that one day I'd have to part ways with you, Yi. Nothing is predetermined. You make your own destiny. Don't get caught up in superstition. You might be right, but parting isn't necessarily a bad thing. I ran to the Forbidden Cave for the first time when Mom and Dad left. That's where I met you. Who would have thought that playing a flute would make someone pop out of that stone? If you say so. But since I'm leaving soon, can you grant me one request before the ceremony? What is it? That story you were telling me about the man fighting the flood. Tell me how it ends. Did he make it home? He didn't die, did he? Okay. See, that's what's cool about this game. It's like old world meets futuristic world, so it's kind of neat. Where did we leave off? He journeyed over mountains and rivers. Peach Blossom Village, the night of the ceremony. Incoming signal. Lord Yi, greetings from your humble servant. Ruyi. I was afraid you would lose track of time, so I called to remind you. If you skip out on tonight, you will have to wait another 2 years for the next harvest. I know. How's the security at the Aitman facility?
Okay.
The system indicates that they are currently on low alert status. There are only a handful of guards on patrol. Please excuse my concern, but if the alarms are triggered, the situation may become untenable. By the way, do you have your mystic nymph on you? I have it with me, but it won't fly. Only parts of it are in working order. It's been too long since I recharged it. That is a pity. If it had enough power, you can make use of the Mystic Nymph Scout mode for... I am not good at certain words. Reconnaissance? Reconnaissance? I'm not sure. Your body has just made a full recovery, after all, so it might be best not to throw caution to the wind. It wouldn't be too hard to just leave a trail of bloodshed. Certainly. Your humble servant has never doubted your martial prowess, Lord Yi.
Woka.
Proceed as you wish, and may fortune favor you.
What?
Hey, freak. Finally showing your true colors, eh? I could see everything you were doing. You're just seeing things. You think you can fool me with that stupid hat? Do you take me for one of those morons over there? When a man talks to himself, he is not talking to those who are watching. Is he not talking to those who are watching? Watching? Don't think I haven't noticed. I've seen those bizarre statues glow in the middle of the night. Whenever I cover them up with cloth, a mysterious wind blows them away. I knew the truth from the very beginning. Those statues are possessed by demons. Demons don't exist. They're merely the delusions of fools. Demons are afoot, and that's that. They're the kind that eats people, too. This place isn't a paradise. There are no gods, and I sure as hell do not know who came up with all that mumbo-jumbo anyway. Admit it. You probably know a thing or two about all this. Fine. Keep your secrets. I'll prove I'm right in front of everyone's faces one day. Don't bother me again. No problem. I'm busy. Wow, firecrackers. Shenong sure has an active imagination. All that loneliness has made him go a bit crazy. Those that are chosen can go live with the gods. Right. The peach trees have blossomed beautifully this year. Thank the gods for blessing our peach blossom village. Something's about to go down. Sorry if you guys hear the swallowing noises. I am drinking water. In accordance with the soul's orders, we humbly pay respect to the flying throne. Thank you for taking care of me these past 2 years, Yi. Time for me to go. Not today, son. Right bumper. Saved him. Woo. Oh God, spare us from your wrath. What's happening, Yi? I must go now. Take good care of yourself. What are you saying? Then who are you? Wait, I don't understand. What was that? Why are you... Wait, where are you going, Yi? See what I mean by like old world meets futuristic world? It's really neat. Now that's awesome. Huh. The air must be bad. The medicine pipe. Haha. Alright, anyways. Status. Chi Blast. Hold down right bumper to generate an explosion by charging a talisman with up to 3 chi charges. All talisman charges inflict internal damage upon impact. Talisman explosions convert all internal damage into direct damage. Okay. Okay, so that's all we have at the moment. Your medicine pipe can be refilled at root nodes and pipe refill station. Obtain additional vials to increase the number of uses and improve the herb's catalyst to enhance its healing effects. Okay. Skills. Hold down right trigger while moving to greatly increase movement speed on flat ground. Shortens travel times among familiar paths. Oh, we don't have any points. Okay. Alright, cool. We shall rest, because that's probably what refills the pipe. How far does this guy go? No. Uh-oh. Do they not reclose? Fuck me. We're gonna have to kill this guy. I don't know. Fuck. I'm just trying to... Okay, well, good thing we're still here. Damn it. I was trying to be all cool and do what I saw, and it didn't work. Damn it. Fuck. Okay, so it just didn't instantly kill him like it did in the tutorial. But it was working. Press right trigger to dodge the trap. Okay, cool. Okay. This guy. I see. Bloody crimson hibiscus. A crimson hibiscus soaked with the villager's blood. Ape men are harvested at regular intervals in the livestock area, where their bodies are then dismembered and sorted. Flowers and clothes are usually mixed with the rest of the useless parts and disposed of.
What?
That's gross. Oh, fuck, I died. Alright, let's stop being cool and just dodge. Bob and weave, bob and weave. Well, that was majestic. Where the fuck am I? Using the body as a medium to dissipate energy, can that actually work? Hello? Okay. Perhaps it needs to be guided. Just let the energy come to me and pull it with my body. I think that's what it said. Ay, ay, ay. Next, use a talisman to inject chi into your target. Slow and steady wins the race. Oh, I see. When you die, it, like, helps you hone your skills. That's cool. Neat. Oops. Oh, so you have to keep holding it. Ah, everything needs to be coalesced. So I was doing it wrong. Okay, I did the things with Become flowing water and allow stillness to become something. Alright. That's neat. I like that idea of when you die, instead of just like dying, it actually like helps you hone your skills. That's really cool. I like that. Oh, that was great. You know, sometimes I don't know how I survived. Well, I didn't. That's the thing. Ah. Okay, fantastic. Do I need to do this anymore? I think probably not. go through that shit again. Oh, I don't have to. Yay. Yeah, take that, bitch.
잠시만. 느낀다.
Yeah. Soul Collect. Use Jin and experience fall into the battlefield if he dies, giving him a chance to retrieve them after he is reborn. Okay, we already got the flower there, so I probably just didn't even have to do that. Fun. Oh shit. Oof. Okay, so you can't go down there. At least not right now. Oh, I just got electrocuted. Yay.
느낀다.
Fuck. Alright, stop doing those. I mean, fuck, sigh. Anyways. Hi. That's a lot of fun. It really is. Okay, we're not gonna do that again because I already got what I needed. Cool. Okay, we are not touching. Nice.
느낀다.
Look at the headless bot. Ew, that is nasty. Like cutting off the arms and the leg and squishing it. Ew, it was so gross. Anyways. Oh, fuck my life. Pay attention. God damn. You know what? No, I'm gonna get my energy back. Okay, let's try this again.
맞아. 쟁여. 느낀다.
Fuck. Okay, I have like no energy left.
긴장해요. 책임져.
Boom. That's how you do it.
긴장.
Boom. You explode in the air. Pew.
완벽히로. 완성. 여기로 챙겨.
Explode you because you pissed me off.
완성. 챙겨. 여기로.
Alright, this motherfucker. Oh, shit. Ugh. You know, this is a little bit more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. This was a challenge. Yes.
여기로.
Now I'm exploding. Piss me off. Achoo.
챙겨. 진정아. 완성.
Oh. Well, that was stupid. I don't know why I thought it was like super awesome all of a sudden.
긴장. 긴장.
So I'll wait for Sword Guy to go away. And then...
The kingdom.
That's how that gets done.
Sing it. Weiter.
Okay.
Sing it.
Yikes. Ah! Ah! You
Sing
motherfucker.
it.
You don't know. Here. This is pissing me off. Right. Don't be careless.
The kingdom.
Exploded you. I really do like that move. That's a lot of fun.
Sing it. The kingdom.
Alright.
Weiter.
Alright, that was pretty good.
Sing it.
Oops.
The kingdom.
Alright. This guy.
Yakilo.
Oh, okay. That's that move they were talking about. Oh, fuck me.
Sing it. Yakilo. Sing it.
Great. Waiting and then kicking this guy's ass is working a lot better.
Sing it.
Yes.
Weiter. Sing it.
Excellent. So timing is obviously important in this game. So do this. Excellent. Ooh. I hit the wrong button. Fabulous. Okay, so yeah, once you get that flower, you're pretty much I forgot about that guy for a second. Good thing. Good thing I figured it out last one. Or remembered. Okay. Anyways. And that's what you get for hurting me.
My zone.
I should have just exploded that guy. Fantastic. Because fuck that guy. It's a pain in the ass just dealing with this motherfucker right here. Oh, fuck me. Every time he does that, I need to dodge the thing. Oh, I'm getting tired of this. Mm. You idiot. You know what? I'm gonna go get energy and do this anyway. What a pain in the freaking ass. Yeah.
My zone.
No, see, I need to get this right. Oh, wow, I have not been really watching the background. But look at all the freaking bodies, bro. Nice man. I meant to explode him and fuck that guy. the rage quit. Alright, one more time. One more time. And if I don't get it this time, then I'm gonna take a break and come back to this tomorrow. This time I'm gonna get that guy. I am. I really am. Bitch. Oh, bitch! That was unnecessary, but it was fun though. Alright, fine. One more time. I'm gonna get it this time. I'm gonna kill that big motherfucker I am. know why I was gonna go outside of what's been working. But whatever. Excellent. Okay, I have full health. Oh, fuck me. I didn't need to fight that guy. Oh, I see. After he comes down to the actually, hang on a minute. After he comes down to the end there, jump, jump, and then go. Right. Okay. This is the part where I rage quit. Actually, really, I've been on here for like hours, so I'm just gonna get off. But yeah, this is fun. I will come back to this. Let my brain process what to do, and then tomorrow, probably tomorrow, I will succeed. Okay, alright. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much. Peace out, all that good stuff, whatever.